Shalom, welcome to Rob on the Rock. I'm Rob Van Hoff. And at this time of year, inevitably, someone makes the claim that Easter is Babylonian. It's some sort of Babylonian worship that has been adopted by the Christian church and now is unknowingly being perpetuated or propagated from year to year. And that's not accurate. Actually, the debate about when to celebrate the Pascha happened long ago, at the time of what's called the Council of Nicaea. And the discussion was how to measure the time, or how to mark the time for the celebration of Pascha. And what was prioritized by the decision in the Council of Nicaea was that, yes, Pascha needed to be celebrated, and it had to be in the springtime. It had to be somehow correlated to the lunar cycle, because of the biblical calendar, and Yeshua it had to reflect the gospel accounts of Yeshua being in the ground on a weekly Shabbat. That's what they wanted to prioritize. And others were advocating for the 14th of Nisan as the proper time to celebrate the Pascha. But of course, being on a lunar calendar, it would not always correspond to when the day of Yeshua being in the ground, buried before the Sabbath day, that it wouldn't correspond to the weekly Shabbat. And so the dispute was not whether or not to celebrate the Pascha, something which is the Aramaic word for Passover. Remember, there was no word Easter then. It had to do with the difficulties of the calendar. And in contrast, this was a time where the Jewish community, under the leadership of the rabbis, had taken Pesach, or the Pascha, and made it a new thing. And so there was indeed a desire to differentiate from the rabbinic authorities on the date of the celebration of the Pascha. What I wanted to show you here, though, was it's kind of a joke. I was going to say, look, we found an ancient Assyrian relief that is proof that we have the Easter bunny, or the origins of Easter in Babylon, because we have here clearly a bunny. You can see the bunny's ears, back here. You can kind of see them. You have armful of eggs, of course, because this is an egg hunt. And of course, there's all sorts of imagery here or images inside the iconography that reflect like a chocolate Easter bunny image with the gathering of eggs. Of course, this is a joke. This is not a real artifact, but this is a cleverly created artifact by someone who made it for me, which I think is really great. But this is not proof, even though it looks like it, this is not proof of the Babylonian origin of Easter. So if someone tells you that Easter is Babylonian, or that it's from ancient Babylonian religion, tell them that they need to do their homework, that's not accurate to history. The facts are way more nuanced than that, and there is a much more kind and true fact set, that is based in history and how we got to be where we are now. So don't be a hater. If you're consider yourself Torah observant and you observe the Passover and the unleavened bread, don't be a hater of believers who celebrate Good Friday and Easter. Don't be a hater of them. That's baseless. That's not what Yeshua would have you do. And by all means, don't lie like some do. Don't use lies about where Easter came from to try to pump up your perspective, because now you're a liar and you're misrepresenting the truth but presenting as if you are a bringer of truth. So the bringer of truth doesn't do so by lying, right? Only bringing truth is bringing truth. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this ancient Assyrian relief of what we call now the modern day Easter bunny, and his or her collection of eggs fresh from the Easter egg hunt. Shalom.